So the middle schoolers just finished their production today of Peter and the Starcatcher, which is kind of a prequel to the story of Peter Pan, explaining why the TikTok Croc TikToks, or how these lost boys ended up on this island. I mean, if you're curious, I can discuss more of the plot, but I don't think it's necessary. So, of course, we started with auditions, we went through the whole process. We have a whole Google sheet of everyone's responses from the form for auditioning, and then Miss Elizabeth, who is my advisor, we discussed casting, and we went back and forth with emails like over the course of like 72 hours, thinking about seniority, vocal ability, and all of these different factors that would contribute to casting, which was a lot harder than I thought it would be. Casting a show is incredibly not particularly political, but there's some certain areas that definitely I was not prepared for. Then we did some scheduling, discussions with the directing team on what we wanted the outcome to be. Miss Elizabeth was less of my advisor and more of, we were co-directing this show. It was definitely a lot of, oh, I really gotta handle 70 plus middle schoolers on my own for vocal rehearsals. So we did a lot of rehearsals during lunch and after school. Typically I would be on my own, like we would separate. Miss Elizabeth would do some choreo rehearsals for all of the like pirate sword fights, and I would have a lot of the ensemble for these like bigger Act 1 finale songs. While this show is technically a play, there is still vocal music in it, and so it was kind of like dipping my toe in the water of musical directing as opposed to doing like a whole Legally Blonde, every scene is a song. So that kind of continued. Of course, there were some problems that came up on the way, kids not doing their homework per se, definitely having to get on them about that. But I eventually spent like, I would say in all like 4 hours sitting at my piano making rehearsal tracks for every single different part in every single different song. So that was a big part of it. Deciding what parts to cut and what needed to be kept in. A lot of this was my decision and didn't need to be, I guess, approved by Miss Elizabeth, because the music was definitely my realm, which was really cool. I had a section of the show that was all me. Rehearsal tracks happened, and this is like everything that I did, but I'm sure you guys don't want to see this, you guys have your own. Eventually I started taking more, I guess, more of a teaching role in like vocal ensemble. I started doing some more like work logs and started blocking for the concerts, and I made my own like breakdowns. I don't think Miss Rilla has access to that. And I started organizing folders and taking more of a musical directing role in that space. So anyway, as we continue with Peter and the Starcatcher, it becomes clear that I have to audition for my top conservatory over the show weekend. So I was very upfront with the kiddos, and I definitely made it clear to everyone involved that I would be unavailable for the last 2 days of dress rehearsal. So they would be on their own vocally in the moment. But in preparation for that, I had made multiple tracks for them to use, and in the few days right before I was about to leave, we definitely were nonstop working on the music to the point where I was so genuinely like happy with it that I was like, okay, you don't need me anymore. We've gotten where we need to be. So, as I said, I wasn't there for the shows, but luckily some of my teachers let me out of class so I could see their little like post-view shortened 30-minute version of the show that we did this morning. And I did record part of it, and I'm gonna show you guys sorry, I know this is totally a ramble. I'm gonna show you the song called Swim On, and it's after the Captain Hook character, and like they all get into a boat crash, a ship crash, and they all have to swim to an island for safety. And so this is the end of Act 1, and the song is called Swim On. Yes, it was daytime. Yes, it's supposed to look different at night, but is the audio connected to?
It should be.
If you hear me commenting very excitedly in the background. So this was this morning. They were all very tired from a weekend of shows. It's a very goofy show. No mics were used as well. Yes, there were some screw-ups, but that really hard part at the end where they were just jumping around, that was really hard, and it took a month to get that, and I was very happy when they got it. I don't know, this was definitely more of like a hands-on, lots of like time spent with the same thing over and over again. So I think I'm going to open it up to questions.
All right, questions for Gracie?
Do you prefer directing or acting? And like why?
That's hard.
Or like what about directing that you really like, and what about acting that you really like? Something like that.
Part of it is that I've always loved working with kids. So maybe part of it is just being with the younger age group that I loved directing them, and they're just a group of my buddies now. Like we're all friends. It was really cute when I came down to the show today and I shouted, "At attention, soldiers!" and then they all squealed because I was there, and it was really cute. But they do really care about putting on a production, and that was definitely what drove them to like lock in, per se, like in the last few weeks before the show. Dr. Jones?
Do you feel like you got some insights into teaching that you didn't have before you did this process?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel like the biggest thing is that with every group of kids, there's like something that some little trick to each group that helps them listen or like focus in. And for them, it was the soldier speak. Because I would have 50 kids at a time alone in Dorrance, and somehow we accomplished a lot.
I've never taught 50 kids at once.
Yeah. I can't remember who, but I've gotten compliments on multiple teachers who have happened to be passing by about how I handle them, so I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, a couple of questions. Was this a semester independent study?
This
or
was a
is it
semester,
continuing?
yes.
Okay.
Because the middle schoolers only have this show since they are able to participate in Frozen. And I'm sure I'll have a similar role in Frozen in terms of directing or vocal captaining as I have for the last 3 years. But I will definitely be more busy with that production, hopefully. 2 days until casting comes out.
And then when you were working with the kiddos, the middle school kids, what techniques did you use? Like if students had come to rehearsal unprepared because you had assigned work and they hadn't done that work, what approach did you take to kind of rectify that moving forward?
Yeah, so more often than not, all the kids came unprepared. No scripts, no lyrics, having done no research on the show. And a lot of the kids actually did not have a background in music, didn't have a sense of pitch, rhythm, etc. And so we definitely started with the basics. I had them tap out rhythms with me. We would go over the lyrics. Like I would start each rehearsal with who remembers the lyrics from what we did last rehearsal. And then I would have them raise their hands, I would pick someone, and then they would recite the first phrase of lyrics, then I would like popcorn it. Because that was the biggest thing I was worried about. And then eventually they started to clue in that the tracks would be their greatest asset because I pushed it and I made them oath to me that they would use them. And they did. So yeah, it was definitely a lot of like little tidbits here and there, little tests to get them to make sure that they knew their stuff.
You guys have for one more quick one. Do you have a quick question?
Yeah, I know you're planning on pursuing music in general in college. Do you think you're going to pursue like directing in any form?
It's something that I've been considering recently, just because I've noticed that as I experience new productions, including with this one, I always come up with random little directing ideas that would be really cool and like artsy. I don't know. When I thought we were going to do Mary Poppins, there was this moment. I hope you guys know the show. George Banks burns up the advertisement that the kids make for a new nanny, and it gets thrown into the fireplace. I knew that the Assange Center would have a catwalk that would be visible from the mezzanine. And I thought, wouldn't it be really cool if we had a small little light and the person playing Mary was sitting there, and as the paper burnt up, she would flourish it. Like, it would be like, if you could see it, then you would see it. But if you didn't, then you missed a really cool moment. That was just something I came up over the summer, and I'd be like, that'd be really sick. But, of course, that won't come to fruition. But that's okay.
Well, great job, Gracie.